Rockford Public Schools, 205. We've got the superintendent on the line. That's Dr. Ehren Jarrett. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. It was exciting to receive that recognition yesterday from Ford Motor Company, and we're really excited about the direction the district is heading.
This is a cool thing. Ford Next Generation Learning Community. Fill us in.
Well, we're one of 17 communities in the country that have achieved this designation, and it has to do with the way we've redesigned our high schools around three key areas. There's the idea of making our high schools into smaller learning communities around student interest areas, changing the way we do some teaching and learning at the high school level, and then finally the way our community has really reached out and engaged in our schools. Those are the three criteria that Ford uses, and they've seen a lot of progress from our community, and we're one of the 17 communities that have achieved that designation.
How did the process work, Doctor? Did they reach out to you, identify what you were doing here at 205? Did you have to apply for this kind of designation? What did that look like?
Well, Ford Motor Company has been with us from the beginning through this process as we've looked at how we can improve student achievement at the high school level. And so over the 2 years, going back to 2010, we have received support from the Ford network of communities, most notably the Nashville public school system and Alignment Nashville. And so we were mentored by some other communities that were further along, and we've been really able to, over the last 3 years, implement this throughout all of our high schools. And so we've gone from really learning from other communities. Now we're starting to transition to perhaps being able to teach some other communities about what we've learned, which is an exciting transition.
Love the idea that, communities going back and forth. Hey, we tried this idea. This is the level of success we had, and then we tried something else, and this really went over the top for us. You guys should give this a try, and now you'll have other people knocking on your door saying, okay, well, what's the trick?
Absolutely. We're excited. We really believe the next step for us is to go from being in the network to be considered a model community. And I think there's a distinct possibility if we continue to show improvement that people from across the country could be coming to visit our schools to see what we're doing to improve them, and specifically how we're doing such a good job of engaging our community. I think that's really been the key, Riley, is that when you look at the Academy Expo, for example, where we have 140 local companies, over 700 volunteers, you don't see that kind of community support of the public schools across the country, and we're just really excited about what we've learned and excited to share it with other communities.
Dr. Ehren Jarrett with us from Rockford 205, Superintendent. It's Riley and Scot on WROK. You mentioned at Nashville being one of the models that 205 has looked at for a while. What else have you picked off from Nashville that now that you are officially the next generation learning community 205 is? What other goals do you have, perhaps modeling on what Nashville's done? What makes them the model that you want to kind of emulate?
Country music on the PA?
Yeah, we went down about 4 years ago to visit, and we saw a lot of similarities in terms of some of the things that students need. And there are certainly things that we were at that point doing better here in our community. But one of the things that we were really impressed with is they really had engaged their students and connected post-secondary or outside of high school life to the school experience in a way that we were really impressed. They made learning relevant to students, I think, was the key thing we noticed. And as a result, graduation rates were increasing, attendance rates were increasing, and they had sustained that success over time. It wasn't kind of a one-year phenomenon. Because we're not interested in a spike here or there. We really want to transform the learning experience for our students here in the community because we think it's so important. And so we really liked what we saw. Literally hundreds of people went to visit and received some job-alike coaching, and we really wanted that for our students, and we're excited about the progress we've made in a very short period of time.
Dr. Jarrett, you've got to take a certain amount of pride, actually a lot of pride, especially in, and I'm sure you're well aware of the history of the district and things that were being discussed 10 and 20 years back. To have a moment and have this discussion this morning is quite a step forward.
Well, we're certainly excited to be having this discussion. That's absolutely the case. And we know we have a very long way to go as well. I don't want to fail to acknowledge that we still want to do much more, but it was really exciting to see the national recognition for our community today. And again, I'm excited, but I'm really excited on behalf of our community because we would not be in this position if it was not for the absolute outstanding level of support we've received throughout the community to support our schools. I mean, literally hundreds and thousands of different people on an annual basis for different events, whether it's grabbing a paintbrush to be part of Share Fest over the years, whether it's being part of the Academy Expo, reading to children through the Rockford Reads program or the United Way programming. I mean, we literally have thousands of people in our schools, and I think that's what's really made us stand out.
Dr. Ehren Jarrett with us here. Another minute or two. It's Riley and Scot on WROK. Getting the recognition is nice from Ford. But for students, for parents, what do you think is the most immediate, I don't want to say difference, but what's the most immediate impact for 205 students and parents from receiving this honor?
Well, I think part of the reason we were in line for the honor is because we are starting to get some preliminary results. I'll be the first to acknowledge we're not where we want to be, but we've had back-to-back 2% increases on graduation rates over the last 2 years. Our freshman on-track rate, which is kind of how many credits a student is receiving at the end of their freshman year, and all of our students have been part of that, that is up significantly as well. And our attendance rate went up so much after a few years of implementation that the state had to double-check our numbers to make sure everything was running okay there because it was such a big jump. We went from 92% to 94% with attendance. So I think those early wins are really impacting parents and students because we're seeing a greater level of engagement, really unique learning opportunities for students and partnerships. And all of our students are going to leave us, if they stay in for 4 years of the program, with either college credits or a nationally recognized career certification. And we think those kinds of advantages matter to parents and students because this is ultimately about making sure when they leave us, they're ready. Not that they just graduate, but they graduate and they're ready for life after they leave Rockford Public Schools, whether that's directly to a career or if it's to some type of post-secondary education into a career.
Dr. Ehren Jarrett, we really appreciate you taking time out of your day for us. Congratulations on this outstanding honor and continued success as well.
Well, Scott, Riley, thank you so much for taking the time to let me share the good news. We're so proud of what the community has accomplished today.
As are we. Have a terrific day.
Thank you.